I thought the weird smell coming from our office fridge was just old leftovers, until I found a brown paper bag with my name on it. And whatever was inside wasn't food. So don't skip this video, because the next time you open your office fridge, you might find something waiting for you, too. I used to work for a small marketing firm in downtown Boston. 8 floors up, floor-to-ceiling windows, great view of the harbor. It was a good job. I liked my coworkers, I liked my routine. Then something started happening with the office fridge, and it changed everything. I was 28 at the time, just a year into the company. We were one of those casual but productive workplaces. Open floor plan, Keurig coffee machines, Spotify playlists, all that. Our break room was small but clean. A microwave, a sink, a counter, and that old refrigerator humming in the corner. Everyone labeled their stuff with sticky notes. Matt's yogurt, Rachel's salad, do not touch, lunch for Thursday. The rule was simple. Every Friday at 5 p.m., the cleaning crew would clear it out. But no one really followed that. By Monday, the fridge always smelled faintly sour, like old lettuce and something metallic underneath. I didn't think much of it, until one morning in November, when I opened it and saw something that made my skin crawl. It was early, 7:45 a.m. I was the first one in. I opened the fridge to stash my breakfast sandwich, and immediately the smell hit me. Not the usual spoiled food smell. This was different, sharp, acidic, almost like cleaning fluid or something decomposing. On the top shelf, there was a plain brown paper bag, no label, folded neatly shut. I picked it up to move it, and it felt heavy, not like leftovers, more like dense. When I peeked inside, there was a Ziploc bag full of raw meat, red, wet. But the weird part, it wasn't shaped like any cut of meat I recognized. Long, thin, almost cylindrical pieces. I dropped it back in the bag and closed the fridge. When everyone came in later, I mentioned it casually, half joking. "Hey, who brought the mystery meat?" No one claimed it. A few people laughed, some made disgusted faces, and Matt from accounting said, "Probably someone's meal prep gone wrong." I let it go. But the next day, the bag was still there, and there were 2 of them. Over the next week, the smell got worse. Even with the fridge door closed, you could smell it when you walked into the break room. People started complaining. The office manager, Lisa, sent an email. Subject, fridge policy reminder. Please label your food and clean up expired items. Anything left unlabeled will be thrown away on Friday. Friday came. At 5:59, I went in to grab my drink before the cleaners arrived. The fridge was nearly empty, except for that same brown paper bag. Still there, still unclaimed. The smell was unbearable now. I grabbed the bag, held my breath, and dumped it in the trash. Then I noticed something. On the side of the paper bag, faintly written in black ink, was Evan. That was my name. At first, I thought someone was screwing with me. We joked around a lot in the office. I texted a couple coworkers, Matt and Rachel, asking if it was a prank. They both swore it wasn't. I tried to laugh it off, but something about it didn't feel funny. The next Monday morning, the fridge was spotless. Someone had actually cleaned it over the weekend. For a day, the air was clear again. Then on Tuesday, I opened it to put away my lunch, and there it was, another brown paper bag, folded neatly, no label this time. I didn't touch it. By afternoon, Lisa sent another frustrated email. Subject, fridge smell, last warning. Whatever is causing this odor needs to be removed. If it continues, we'll have maintenance inspect the appliance. But by the time she got around to checking it herself, the smell was gone, completely, like it had never been there. That night, I stayed late to finish a presentation. Around 9:30, the office was empty. The hum of the fluorescent lights echoed against the glass walls.
I walked to the break room for another coffee and froze. The fridge door was open. A thin trail of condensation led from it to the center of the floor. The brown paper bag was sitting there, open now. Inside was another Ziploc, but this time I could see it clearly. Whatever was inside wasn't meat. It was a strip of skin. Not animal skin. Human skin. Small, pale, maybe from a finger or a wrist. I stumbled back so fast I knocked over the chair behind me. My pulse was hammering in my ears. I forced myself to look again just to be sure I wasn't imagining it. There was something else in the bag too, another folded piece of paper. My name. Evan, do not throw away. I didn't call the police right away. I know that sounds insane, but I couldn't process what I was looking at. I kept thinking, it's fake. It has to be fake. I grabbed my phone to take a picture, but before I could, I heard something down the hall. Footsteps. Soft, steady, getting closer. The cleaning crew wasn't due until midnight. I turned off the light and crouched behind the counter. The footsteps stopped right outside the break room door. Then I heard the fridge open, the soft suction sound of the seal breaking. A pause. Then the door closed again. The footsteps moved away. After a few minutes, I stood up and turned the lights back on. The bag was gone. I went home that night and barely slept. The next morning, I told Lisa what happened. I left out the part about the skin. She looked skeptical, but said she'd review the security footage. That afternoon, she called me into her office. Her face was pale. "Evan," she said quietly, "you should see this." She turned her monitor toward me. The footage showed the break room around 9:40 p.m., the exact time I'd been there. I watched myself into the room, open the fridge, take something out, and set it on the counter. Then I turned the lights off. A few minutes later, the lights came back on. I was still there, standing in front of the fridge, smiling. I never left. I told her that wasn't possible. I'd left right after that, I'd gone home. But the footage showed me staying in that room for over 20 minutes, just standing there, then calmly picking up the brown bag and walking out of frame. Lisa didn't say anything. She just stared at me like she didn't know who she was looking at. That night, I checked my phone's GPS history. It said I'd been at the office until 10:06 p.m., but I have no memory past 9:35. I tried to convince myself it was stress, overwork, a blackout. But when I came in the next day, everyone was whispering, because the fridge was full again. Not just a bag, full. Paper bags, Ziplocs, containers, each one labeled with a name from the office. Rachel, Matt, Lisa, and at the very bottom, one with mine. I opened it. Inside was a folded note. "You forgot to throw it away again." I ran straight to the manager's office, demanding she call the police. But when she opened her mouth, I noticed something. Her teeth were red, like she'd been eating something raw. She wiped her mouth quickly and said, "Evan, calm down." I turned and left. As I walked down the hall, I passed the break room again. The fridge door was wide open, humming louder than usual. The smell hit me like a wall, stronger than before. Sweet, metallic, rancid. Inside, I could see movement, something shifting behind the shelves. I stepped closer, heart racing. There was a reflection on the stainless steel back panel, someone standing behind me. I spun around. No one there. When I looked back, the reflection was still there, except now it was smiling and slowly raising a hand, like it was reaching out from inside the fridge. I don't work there anymore. The police investigated, but they said there was no physical evidence of anything unusual. The office closed for Renovations 2 weeks later. No one from that team answers my messages now. I moved to Cambridge, took a remote job. I keep my food in a cooler now. No fridge, no cameras. But last week, I got a package. No return address. Inside was a small brown paper bag, folded neatly. It smelled faintly of metal. There was a note taped to the front. "You forgot to label this one." And underneath, written in red ink, my name.